Okay, here comes the top of the hour, and this indicator is still banging on this doji. All this time later, it's based on the 15th, so if you took a snapshot of this right now, look how it picked this perfect bottom here. So I'm going to strip out these blue lines and just leave the pivot, the white line in the middle, which would match the, I don't know if I can make that thicker, but it's matching the color of the close. So it's like the thread that we're currently at price-wise. So I go inside the indicator and put double slashes in front of the very close support and resistance, and just try to get in at the edge of the market on the swing high and swing low. So I'll turn off the aqua. The math will still be going on. We just switched these on and off, and you can figure which your favorite swing range is. I'll leave the white. So the pivot is 0 point. This is the try not to obliterate the. So all you have to do is turn those back on if you want them. I'm going to leave the white one. Okay. So I'm just going to get rid of the blue and the. Did I put that white in there? I guess I screwed that one up. Okay. But this is, I guess the green. No, I want the white. Oh well. You can always hit Control Z too if you screw something up here. So I compile that. And unfortunately, it's still got the objects on there. Now you have to reload it. Pretty sure. So go here. So I call it Spectrum 1. Oh, it's not even on there. I'm just using the old. So here is without the. So I just have white lines. So it's like less decisions to make. And then I would change the color of this. I mean, I would say this is a template. Right now, I'm going to say this is ATR 5 25, just because. So I'm going to try to upload this thing. Okay, so look at how it's less trading, but these are better places to get in and out. Here's the 5-minute view. So this is a nice place to put a buy limit down here. You're only committing to that, and of course this is always changing. Every 15 minutes, like this top of the hour came and went, and then you can do your analysis over here. So that we drifted away from this doji, the ATRs just went down and tighter on the pivots. So maybe your target's going to be up here if you bought here in this trap, supposed trap right now. So this is too fast to sell off maybe, and we're sitting right at the 15-minute pivot now. We just updated this whole thing. So this would tell you your targets are going to be pretty shallow. Not going to make, look how this thing is right in the window at the top of that. But this is constantly changing. I don't know if you could get a robot to, guys put a link on my page there. I tried to download that thing. Couldn't get it to run, but I saw a lot of EA builders. I guess the language is the problem. I'm having a language barrier there. I don't speak C+. So it's 9:30 is going to be a big turning point here. I go to half hour. So we're just sitting right there. My bid and ask is in blue. So fixing the scale here is the way to fix how much you want to risk. Here's 20 pips from here to here. So right now this, between these two lines is so many pips. And certainly here is the extreme if this was your take profits off of these. So maybe you have a buy limit here and it's just going to get out. In other words, your first hand placed buy limit's right here, so you're only committing to 4 orders. And this is just going to tell you every 15 minutes. You could set this to 4 hours if you don't want to be, babysitting this thing like a baby with a box of razor blades. Here's the 4-hour perfect. Trying to hold this trend line, this shallow trend line. We could crush through right now. See, now we go smashing down, and then I go over here to the plunge bank and pull out a 5 pip. See how that fits? And there's another 1 hour. So this is 1 hour here, and then I put this 2 hour, 10 to 15 to 30. So it's not deep enough if we're trying to capture this price, and then I have this big monster end of the world script, 8 hours, and just this kind of ridiculous array. In case I just go to Smash Town. And then I could go to the 5 minute and still see the exact same pivots. Maybe I should, well, these are dotted. Now, if you got rid of these two, then you'd really be barely trading it. You'd only get in the very extremes. So we're trapped in this middle zone. Possible plunge coming. So it's range trading it. There's nothing really else that works. Trend trading, even if you're trend trading it, you got to get in the right range. So 25 minutes, take a look at it. So I just rewrote another version of this pivot system, and the left side is running a 30-minute pivot update and the right side's 15. So when you change the timing, it dramatically changes the width of your limits. If you're going to sell on these, or the targets, makes a big difference. So you go to 1 hour. Let's see here. I screwed up this pivot line here. It's supposed to be dotted. Maybe I'm on top of the other. But the middle here, it's supposed to be dotted up here. Screwed that up. Yeah. It's supposed to be 0. No, it's supposed to be 1, that's right. Here it is 0. Okay, set them both to the same scheme. This dotted zone here, and this is always the middle of the dotted line is going to be the pivot. Just trying to make it so it's real at a glance kind of thing. So you put, I definitely would buy, and I put on a buy stop, sell stops in the middle here. So look at this doji script I've been working on. This is going to put, it's going to be non-directional, so it's right at the center of the pivot. Just coming off of that up into this, I think found that bottom like that. That top become a bottom. Come on. That's how it works. But yeah, I'm fascinated by this pivot stuff. Just wish I could hook up the, I just have to get somebody that's going to put orders in there that doesn't even know what they're doing. Just say every, of course, this, I have to set this to 4 hours or something. I don't think anybody's going to sit up all night hitting buttons. Okay, there might be this time of night right here. There's this big news thing coming out. Who knows? Okay, I'm putting buy stops here. First target's going to be this yellow lines, and this is the 15-minute update. So you've put the same time frames, same zoom level. You can see way out there. Look how this thing picks the bottom here. I'm telling you. Okay. Get some action. I guess set this to 5 minutes. I think I can make a 5-minute version of that. So I just keep on copying what I did before. And all I do is file, save as. Let me see if I can get this thing to update really psychotically. So if you're scalping, maybe spitting targets out at you. Like this 0. 0 and 2 seem to come up with the same. So I just go up to the top of this whole thing. Well, not the top, but just after all these objects. In the middle of this data, there's little switches for the time. We're just going to make it 5 minutes on these 3 windows, 3 entry spots. Oops. And then compile this. And we'll put this on the smaller time frame. I guess it's a logical thing to do. Get rid of this guy. Put this one in. See, it's super tight, and you're waiting every 5 minutes. So you could also take this, save this as a template, and see what it looks like on the other time frame. I'm just going to call this let's put another 5 after it or something. 5 minute. The more confusing, the better. So we load it over here. And now we've basically looking at the exact same chart. So this is always a real psychological trick. And just switch time frame here, 30 minute. Look how it just nailed the top of the day there. Not so good on the bottom. We're looking for it to come into the floor here. It just dropped out. And then we're waiting for the in a couple minutes here, the whole thing's going to change. So if you're really trading super big and super tight, you'd probably get a kick out of getting in at those price levels. Here's would be the 15-minute script. That looks pretty close to the market, maybe too close. Here's the 1 hour script, 10 to 15 pips deep with a 30 stop. So the thing is to make these to be either the buy stops or breakout. Like here's the scalp, it's right to the yellow line. So it's a pretty quick target up here. And or you could bias these to be trend trades, like it's going to get in here and it's going to get out. So you could just have a button you press that's a pretty big order, where you're just going to get in at the market on one, some limits here and some stops here, but pretty heavy with a stop, say here, maybe a soft stop, but your exit is going to be like this. I mean, you're scalping to this dotted line, and maybe that's it. You just walk away. You've padded your account, and you know this is going up. I mean, you're betting on it. You're literally going to bet on that one idea. And if it takes this out, maybe you hold through this whole thing till it clips this. So this was the big trap for the breakout bots here. why they say don't breakout trade. Only for this breakout here would have been nasty if you got trapped in this thing today. This is right at the round number, and then it was lights out, and then the doji bots made some money on that little 1 hour slam. But here we come ripping back. You know, like a real angry housewife. Alright, let's buy stops. I don't know if this is... Oops, I'm in draw mode. I can't do any trading in draw mode. So buy stops are up here, and then the fifth I just updated. So look how tight this thing got. The 4 hour, it looks ridiculous. That's by setting it at 5 minute. Now your floor is right on this. So the pivot thing, no doubt, is a volatility projector, volatility data dispenser. It's telling you, oh look, it's quiet. Yeah. So your targets are tight, your entries are tight. It's time to scalp, maybe. It's every 5 minutes this thing's going to change the story. So you're on the 1 minute chart, and you're waiting 15 bars to go by. Look how this thing's picking the bottom here. Forgot about it. Alright, time's ticking. 3 minutes to the update. Here's 4 hour. Next tick comes in. This should come in. The indicator should pop on. I'm going to update in 3 minutes here. Here's where you would trade at the market, I think. And if I bought right now at the market, I'd still be paying for that blue line right there. 1 minute chart. So I put a buy stop up there 2 pips away. So I'm just doing it because I told myself I'd try to be a disciplined trader. And I put buy stops only on this account. So I'm just going to get into about some insane amount of K here. But it looks good here, right? Now, at the bottom of your screen, you could be looking at ATR values, I suppose. You could add that on. But it's like better to almost have the ATR right in front of you here. It's the same thing. And if you made this grid thicker, this is 20 pips right here right now. But wow, this is from top to bottom on this. We're under 20 pips. Plus you don't have to look down. Okay, we gotta go smashing through this because the sellers are supposed to come in right here at that floor. This whole indicator is going to update in 5 minutes. So this could be really good in the morning. If you got the scripts at your fingertips ready to buy and sell this puppy, you got a reason to pull the trigger. That's all you need. It's the whole reason why these people do all these stupid things with their geometry is looking for a place to justify the entry. Just need some justification. Okay, we're 30 seconds from the update. Clock's ticking down here. This is a big deal. 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. This could be a breakout to the north side. I'm going to cut through these blue balls and these yellow lines. I think we could get a bigger ATR here in one second. There you go, boom. So now you'd have to just maybe tighten up your stops. Your volatility just kicked up, or you're going to get out, or maybe the trade's over. It's too much volatility. You know, I don't know. Anyways, it's the euro dollar at the moment. Insanity. Look how it updated perfectly to this bottom. Still, it's wide here, but still snug on the 4 hour. Get some follow through here. Go cut north. I guess you could draw a trend line on the 1 minute chart off of that pivot. That's the pivot sitting at the so once you trim this down, and I guess the first place to start building this is on the 5 minutes, so you can update and trade faster and learn how you want to get in and out faster. So I got that set to 9. Number 9 is the widest. That's just 1.8%. I don't even know. Yeah, about 2%, 4% of a 5 minute pivot. I think there are percentages in there. It has 1.8 in that. So you can just totally make that logarithmic, really. Just put all the math in there. Okay, we've got a great monster trend going here on the 1 minute chart. Look at that puppy. Double top just became a bottom. Crawling up, trying to get to the infamous borderline break out of the Scientology class. Pull off that E-meter and run out of the room. Or we're just going to keep tanking. So trying to hold this trend line on the 4 hour. This is the big hope for the bulls. This trend line on the 4 hour. Got a top bottom on the 4 hour right now. Major pivot there. So we're above the pivot now. Looking for first targets will just be to almost make it to the electric fence on the Scientology property. And then we're going to update this indicator. So this could be the 15-minute version here. I don't remember when this 4 hour chart, I think it's it just updated at 9 p.m. I think. And this smash down here has only been like a half hour of, yeah, that was like a, okay, holding the this big trend line. Got a double bottom on the 1 minute. Looking to sneak up into the resistance up there. Got a flag, whatever, triangle. Looks like the trend line's got a hold. We just got an update on this indicator. Look how it's picking the 4 hour triple top out perfectly. At the this is at 4.2%, whatever that is. This is the I think I turned on 19. Let's see, it's pretty 19 and 21, so I skipped 20. 19's at 3.8. Okay, we're breaking the trend line on 1 minute. Wait for that to close. So just barely holding on to this trend line. And look at this bottom here. Man, that's just amazing. Right to the closing price. Alright, 1 minute left. Gonna update that thing, see if it holds that price. We're 5 seconds from the update of this pivot meister. A little tighter. So the ATR just dropped down. Trying to put buy stops in. Or sell stops. What have you. So we broke out, found resistance, and if this is supposed to tank now. According to trendline break theory, 3 touches, holds, breaks, finds resistance there, the sellers come in. So if the sellers aren't coming in, yikes. And then, is this the top became a bottom here? A double top became a bottom on the 1 minute. And then top of the hour's coming, so we'll wait till the next 15-minute update, see what the ATRs are on that. See, and look how it moved perfectly to here. Now here's the pivot from 5 minutes ago, right at this pivot on the 4 hour. So all this cluster noise is obviously the pivot zone. Just going to update on this 5 minute pivot indicator. Now I got the pivot from that 5 matching this low, and we've got that still right up on these tops, and we're banging off of this. This would be your Andrews pitchfork if you're gonna think this isn't a wider channel. If you copy this over, this would be the top of the channel. This is your bottom kind of an envelope. So here's the rate of change that wasn't holding there. Okay, so we're still crawling up this trend line. I put the that middle trend line in white. So the sellers were supposed to come in there after you broke that and pulled back to it. We're just kind of drifting up. A lot of people probably ready to get out right there at that floor. So we're just going to wait it out. Looking for this thing to challenge the top of that, and I stripped out the other colors, just got down to just that. That's what I'm putting in the comment, is this version here. So I got editing along the fly, on the fly here, and just had the 5 minute updates because I want to just watch this thing give me the ATRs real time every 5 minutes. So 30 seconds left, and we're just barely trolling along the bottom of that outside envelope based on all of these tops and bottoms in the 1 minute. And we broke back here. The next trend line to break is this one. I gotta get through that. Certainly the major top become a bottom was right there when we smashed out, broke back, and we have double top. Looking to break a double top on a 1 minute. And here's a double top, becomes a double bottom. Now we gotta go smashing through the top there. Now we just updated that 5 minute pivot system. Looking for some follow through to the upside. So I'm still trading on buy stops here, and here's my target just beyond the yellow lines. This is my scalp, just 1K. So if you hit that 10K, 10 times, you're in a 10K. And then my next target is this one, another 1K order. Target's not even, still inside the range of the day. So pretty conservative exit. To me, that's conservative is scalping. Scalping small is the most conservative trading you can do. People talk about conservative entry. I always think about taking something off the table. Like, just pay me something right now. Like, this would be no different than putting money down. If you owned a business, you need to have a 10% deposit. You need to have the, you need to have that cash flow, right? Cash flow. Got about 2 seconds here. We're going to update this ATR 5 minute. Didn't seem to change much. Market's too quiet, so apparently the math wasn't enough to change that. We're still crawling up this 1 minute channel though. So we got outside this envelope a little bit, but we're still riding along the bottom of that envelope. Looking to hit these targets before we hit these big targets here. So we scalp to there and then we blow out the top and cash out. We're still waiting for this market to go up. So we drifted way out of this channel that I drew. So channels are short-lived, obviously. That perfect channel that we were going up, broke out of that thing. We're just treading water sideways, holding this support level. And just, that's 1 minute chart. That's what it looks like after all that time gone by. Just keep on drifting. Just slipping away. Here's the 5 minute pivot bot, and it's just sitting right there on the top of that 1 hour. That's the 4 hour. It's sitting right there on that pivot. Wait for a move up. Wait for London open. Okay, it's hours later. The target was hit. Right this doji. All the sellers came in. End of story. We traded that with 1Ks. All the way up to that. I'm going to put this 5 minute version of the indicator in the comments.